Hey y'all, welcome to the Ginger Walkabout. I'm the Ginger. That's Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. And that is Lucille. She is a 2020 Winnebago Travato 59 GL that we have been living in full-time since August of 2019. This is my Day in the Life series where I give you the real scoop about what it's like to live full-time on the road. Hey y'all, welcome to the Ginger Walkabout. So I may have mentioned before that I am trying to do less reservations in advance, more spontaneous, more stay where I can find, boondocking, that sort of thing, first come, first serve, that sort of thing. And I'm not great at it. I'm a planner. I'm trying, but I thought, what would be a great test? How about if we try going to a national park on a holiday weekend with no reservations? So that's what I did. I went to Olympic National Park in Washington State on 4th of July weekend. And so here's how I did. Okay, so I was doing the park from south to north. And so that meant I was coming in on the 101, and so I was hitting the coast first. And if you've never been to Olympic National Park or the Olympic Peninsula, this place is amazing. And it's awesome because you get every kind of terrain and topography. And so I went from the coast to the rainforest to the Alpine Mountains, all within, 3 days in one national park. And it was awesome. So first stop was on the coast, and I was going to try to get into the South Beach campground, which is first come, first serve, because Claylock was full. But South Beach was full when I drove by, so I just headed up to Claylock to try my luck. And when I got there, there were people in front of the little ranger station check-in and sitting in lawn chairs. I was like, well, that's weird. And so I stopped and went over, and they were waiting for the ranger to get back, and they were going to try to get any available spots. And so I hung out, and I got so lucky, y'all. I got the second to last spot in the park. No hookups or anything. And this part, man, they really cram you in. And so technically the spot I was in was supposed to be for a 13-foot limit. But they have these parallel spots that are basically just little pullouts from the road with a picnic table and a fire ring. And so, it was on a corner, and not a lot of traffic was coming up that way because only people that had spots on that little strip were coming up that way anyway. And so Lucille fit just fine. There were no issues there, but it was great because, it's beautiful and it's right on the beach. And it's a beach that Whiskey Dog could go to. A national park that's dog friendly on the beach. Say it ain't so. We are at Olympic National Park from the coastal area, obviously, as there is the ocean. We got the second to last camp spot at the very popular campground. And now we're going to stroll down the beach, as this is going to be our last time at the Pacific Ocean for quite a while. Because after we're done here, we're going to be turning inland. So, Whiskey's enjoying his last time of beach time on the West Coast. And I'm just trying to stay warm. So, obviously, Whiskey is not supposed to be off leash. You're not supposed to be off leash, but you got zoomies you got to get rid of. So we found this secluded little corner, and I'm letting you get them out. You ready? You ready? I'm gonna get you. 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 He likes to have something to run around. I don't know why. What you doing? Well, alright, our zoomie's done. And come back over here. Oh, nope. We got more. We got more zoomies. Okay. Okay. Alright. Okay. Coming around. Is that it? You got more? More zoomies? You got a face full of sand. That's amusing. Okay, so night number 1. Successful, getting lucky, catching last available site at the campground. So then the next day I headed a little inland to the Hoh Rainforest. This place it's quite full of people. Now granted, it was Friday. This was the holiday Friday. So I get it. But I got in. You know, I'm an RV when I need to be an RV, and I'm not an RV when I don't want to be an RV. So, you know, if the only parking available is RV parking, then I'm an RV. Otherwise I try to just park in a regular space and leave the RV parking for the RVs. Anywho, so, I went on the little Mosses trail and it was fine, but, you know, it's just crawling with people. And again, National Park, holiday weekend, not unexpected. But still. So I tried to get in and out of there as quickly as possible. You know, the rainforest is vast and there's plenty of places to go see it, that aren't right there, the designated national park piece. So you might want to try that if you're going to visit. Seriously, y'all. This is why I'm leaving this area. Look here. You need to get on your side of the line or you're going to get hit. I'm not even kidding. Move over. I don't know what's wrong with you people. No more. I'm out. Whew. So got out of that mess. Night 2. Wanted to stay in the rainforest. I'm like doing all the climates, right? So, I was, using iOverlander. I find iOverlanders pretty good for the secluded boondocking spots out here, in the West. And so there were several, listed off the road that goes to the Hoh Rainforest. I went to one. Now here's the thing, y'all. You've got to go. Get out and look. So when I was pulling into these roads, there would be, some of them had like big potholes that were filled with water. So as soon as I pulled off the road, I would stop and I would walk and I would look to make sure that I could navigate the road. Cause I want to do all that work to get through potholes and over hill and dale to find out that it's a no-go. So get out and look. And that's what I did. And so I tried a couple different little spots and I wasn't real excited. But then I found a forest road. And I went up the forest road and I was looking on Google Maps at the satellite imagery and I could see there were some pullouts and the ranger at Claylock had said that, if it's forest road or logging road, it's fine because they're not doing any logging on a holiday weekend, right? So anyway, so I went cruising up this road and lo and behold, if you're willing to do the work, you can camp for free, completely secluded, by yourself, in a freaking rainforest, just outside of the Hoh National Park portion of Olympic National Park. So I just drove out of Hoh and found this logging road and There's Lucille. Right up there. In a little clearing. Hanging out. Perfect. And the only thing I've got to contend with, there are no other humans. There are no coronavirus vectors. The only thing I have to contend with are the mosquitoes. And that's going to be anywhere you stay in the forest. Here comes a whiskey dog running. And that's going to be anywhere you stay in the forest, you're going to have mosquitoes. Even in the campgrounds, paying your good money, you're going to have mosquitoes. So, there you go. All right, so that was night 2. Another successful night. And I tell you what, that road that went by there, exactly 2 cars drove by in the entire time I was there. It was great. It was peaceful. Nobody bothered me. I don't think Whiskey Dog particularly liked all the sounds of the woodland creatures at night. They're pretty loud. But I sleep with a white noise machine, so I don't care. But he got used to them and quieted down. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see any of them. But I definitely heard them. They were out there. So that was day 2, or night 2. Then the next day, got up, and then I was headed around the peninsula, went through Forks for all you Twilight fans, lovely little town, and then to Salduck. I think I'm saying that right. When you get up in this part of the country, you gotta learn how to pronounce things. Like, they drop a lot of vowels. So, like, Claylock is actually K-A-L. And I'm like, there's an A between the K and the L. They don't care. They just drop it. It's Claylock. And then you get to what should be Sequim, but no, it's Squim. And I'm like, well, there's a E between the S and the Q. And they're like, we don't care. We drop it. It's Squim. Okay. Anyway, so kind of Salduck, and another falls trail, very, busy, up and back. I mean, it was a nice little stroll. I might be getting a little worn out on all the forest trails in the national park. I'm not saying I'm not going to do them, but I really don't like that I can't take the Whiskey Dog. But, it is what it is. So, cute little trails. I got up there, it was after 3 p.m. It was closer to 4 or 5. So I think it cut down on some of the people, which was great. And so then it was time for night number 3. And because I'm learning, I found myself another forest road. And this forest road was paved. It was only 1 lane, really, with some turnouts. And I went way far up it. And then I was like, you know what? I want to get up early and get to some more of the park before the crazy. So I went back down, and there was a little pull out. And so I pulled in there, and there were some other RVs. There was a schoolie, whatnot. Some of the locals were driving by kind of fast until about midnight, because this was like the Saturday night of the holiday weekend. So it was like, wahoo, let's all go crazy. Didn't hear any fireworks though, which was awesome, because Whiskey and I are not a fan of explosions. But anyway, so yeah, had another great night of boondocking. No reservations, holiday weekend, national park. So this is my boondock spot for tonight. I am in the Olympic National Forest, not the national park. This is a tree farm. There's little baby trees out there. You can see the mountain. The marine layer clouds have started to roll back in. We actually had a little bit of sun today, which was crazy. But yeah, so I'm just in this little paved pullout next to this little tree farm where Whiskey can go romp. And there's a couple other RVs parked down the road from me. I saw them. Everybody's fine. So that's going to be my boondocking spot for the night. And I love it. So yeah, night number 3. Successful. Next day, kept heading up. Still on the 101. And of course you go past Crescent Lake. Everybody loves them some Crescent Lake. It's stunningly beautiful. Alpine lake. But I got up early. Got on the road at 7:30 in the morning because I wanted to get to Marymere Falls before the crowds. Because I knew this is a very popular trail. It's a short little easy trail up to, a pretty cool waterfall. And I did it right. I was on trail by 8 a.m. and hiked up to the falls. Saw maybe 5 other people the whole time. I had the falls all to myself for a while and just, could enjoy it without all the craziness. So yeah, no, it was Marymere Falls. It's beautiful. But like all the national parks, go early or go late in the day. That's my tip for you. Get up early, go do things, go back to camp, take a nap, hang out, and then go back out again after 3 or 4 in the afternoon. And that's when you're going to see like animals and stuff. They're either early in the morning or late in the afternoon, evening anyway. And you can avoid those midday crowds. So that's a big tip for that national park going, y'all. Seriously. All right, so then I was headed up to Hurricane Ridge. This is the alpine mountain portion of the program in Olympic National Park. And it was Sunday of the holiday weekend, and it was like, 10 in the morning. So, of course, I'm going to sit in line in front of the ranger station on the road for about 30 or 40 minutes. Because there's limited parking up at the ridge, and some people had to leave before they let anybody else in, and it was fine. Look, I have a van. It's awesome. I got my own bathroom. I gotta go. I just, we're not going anywhere. I just throw it in park, put the parking brake on. Don't forget your parking brake, and go use the restroom. It's great. So, it's a holiday weekend. You just suck it up. It is what it is. But it was awesome because by the time I got up there, there was plenty of parking, and the gift shop's open. And you got to put your face mask on, and they're limiting, people how many could go in at a time or whatever. But that's fine. And so then I did the Hurricane Hill Trail, which is spectacular. But here's my tip for the Hurricane Ridge and Hurricane Hill Trail. This is the Pacific Northwest. It is rainy, cloudy, a lot of the year, a lot of the time. So, if it's going to be completely socked in the whole time, there's really no point in going on this trail because it's at altitude. It's like 6,500 feet, and you're in the clouds. You're literally in the clouds. They're coming across the trail. And so if it's just going to be socked in, you're not going to see anything. So when I was up there, when I first started the trail, the clouds parted a little bit and I could start to see the mountains. And then miracle, they just completely parted, and I could see it was the hills are alive with the sound of music, and a herd of deer grazing, and the flowers are blooming because spring comes late to the mountains, and it was lovely. But while I was sitting up at the summit, at the top of the trail, it socked in again, and it was socked in my entire way back down. So if it was like that the entire way up and back, it would have kind of been a waste because you wouldn't have been able to see anything. And as you can see, the scenery is spectacular, so you don't want to miss it, because of the clouds. And just a note, there are some very cheeky deer. I guess it's because nobody shoots at them up here, but very cheeky deer just all cruising around on, the trails. And I think people are feeding them, which is not helping anything. Don't feed the wildlife, because I'm not kidding. What happens is they either become nuisances and they have to be culled, or they run onto the road like humans, yay, food, and they get hit by cars. Come on. Get out of the parking lot. So don't feed the deer or any other kind of wildlife. Stay away from them. They're wild animals. Let them be. That was my rant. Anyway, so yeah, Hurricane Ridge was awesome sauce. And then on the way back down, I did the little turnout, and you can get the view all out over Port Angeles, yeah, and see kind of forever and all the way across into Canada on a clear day. All right, so that was my holiday weekend in Olympic National Park. And my last night, Sunday night, I actually ended up staying in the park again at Heart of the Hills campground, which is in the Hurricane Ridge area of the park. And it was like a ghost town. There was nobody there. It's a pretty big campground. It's all first come, first serve. No hookups or anything. The only thing is, these national park campgrounds, a lot of them were really designed for tent campers. And so you're not going to find a lot of level spots that are of any length. So, Lucille was fine. It was, level enough. I've been more unlevel. And it was one night, and you go in and you do the self-pay, and, you collect your firewood. I had myself a little campfire, and it was nice. I had self-service, so I could get up and work the next morning. So that wraps it up. So that was 4 nights, 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 4th of July weekend, Olympic National Park and Peninsula, and no reservations. And you know what? Everything worked out just fine. So you've got a small rig. If you're willing to go without hookups, find yourself a Forest Service road, use your apps. Don't sweat it. You will find a place to spend the night and just go out and enjoy. So I hope maybe you got some helpful tips from that. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below, and I will see you on the road.